Oh, I want to say this to the ladies before we get rolling, and then we get to the biblical question. Um, I've been talking to a lot of ladies recently, and it's disappointing what's happening to the women nowadays. Um, I talked to several women who've been married 2 or 3 times, and they were seriously looking for a man that they could rely on, meaning that they were looking to a man that they can trust in and discuss things with, and that would give them answers to life or to situations, because it's in a woman's nature, it's given to her by God in her nature to naturally want a man and want a family. But she naturally want a man that can lead her, that she can talk to and give her answers and things like that. And this one lady was telling me that she had gotten married 3 times, I think, maybe 2, but definitely, maybe 2, I think, maybe 3. But all 3 times she thought she was marrying a man that can lead her and that would be able to answer questions and she could rely on for those type of things. And so she married, all 3 times she married mama boys. All 3 guys were mama boys. And what she noticed about the mama boys is that they were weak in that all they wanted sex. But she didn't know that because she didn't know at the time that women were not created to be emotionally connected to sex. Men are emotionally connected to sex, but women are not. They don't feel that at all. But and so she ended up marrying mama's boys, and the last guy she married, he had money. So she figured that this was a smart guy. He had made money, he earned a living, and he'll be able to guide her, lead her. And it ended up being the same thing. He was just a mama's boy. All he was interested in was sex. He had nothing in him that can lead her. And she wanted that. And all women want men to lead them. They don't mean like, it means like answer questions and things that they worry about to show them how to overcome. But this woman says I believe married 3 times. The last guy had a bunch of money, and he was still a mama's boy, and all he wanted sex. And so first I want to tell the ladies that anytime you meet a guy and he wants sex, walk away. It's a mama's boy, because that's all he think about is sex. When he see you, he doesn't see anything but sex. But he'll lie and say, oh, you're beautiful, you're smart. He'll tell you all the lies you need to hear to draw you in, but do not fall for it. And women, you're supposed to, just as men, you're supposed to overcome being a lady to woman. And a real woman never, ever, ever seek after a man. Do not look for a man. Don't go to the club looking for one. Don't go to the bar looking for one. When you're up and down, having fun out there in the world, don't look for a guy. I promise you, you're going to always end up finding guys who are just like you. And you don't want that. And especially nowadays, it is bad. All men want is to figure out how to have sex. There's nothing wrong with getting married to have sex. But sex is not supposed to be all this stuff that they're making y'all do, ladies. Sex is supposed to be private, simple, get into bed, have sex, go to sleep. It's not supposed to be all this stuff that the guys are making y'all do. They're making you do that because they're mama's boys and they have the mama spirit and they're very emotional and they can care less about you. So what I want to do is encourage the women, because I don't know if we said enough to the ladies. You got to seek first the kingdom of God, His right way, and He will guide you. If you don't, If you seek the right way, whether you find a man or not, you'll be just fine. But I promise you, God will put the right man into your life, and that man will be able to lead you in the right way. You won't have to wait on him to finally make the decision, to finally make this decision, that decision. He will do nothing. But if you look for it, you're going to always find the wrong man. It ain't going to work. Because you have a mama's boy. And mama's boys are lost, emotional, and they go to the gym, they work out, they do everything to get a woman to have sex. That's all they care about. And you're disappointed when you run into that. And the last thing, because there's so much I have to say about this now, last thing I want to say to the ladies, from this day forward, ladies, never, ever, ever talk about, do what you want. Never talk about whether you're a virgin or not to anyone. That's between you and God. Because, and I remember when I was hearing these stories, I was saying, wow, in the good old days, women didn't talk about whether they were virgin or not. They didn't brag about it. They didn't tell anyone. They didn't even sit around the table with other women and talk about it, because between them and God, that person and God. But then now what's they those nasty women? The feminist women. The feminist movement started, right? And they started telling women, oh, you can just like a man. You don't be ashamed of your sex. Don't be ashamed of this or that. You could do what men do. You could be a slut, just like a man could be a slut maker. And then they start writing about it and putting it in movies. And they made women forget that their sex life is a private life. Whether they're a virgin or not is no one's business. Your husband will find out the night of the honeymoon. He'll find out then. He doesn't need to know ahead of time or anything. Keep that between you and God, because if the man find out, all he gonna think about is, I gotta get this one because she's a virgin. And he'll be done with you. He'll make babies with you and walk away. He doesn't care about you at all. And then the other women will be jealous if you're a virgin. They'll make a mockery of you. They'll talk you out of it so you can become lost like them. In the good old days, women didn't talk about all this stuff. Women did not talk about it at all. And I used to date a lot back down in Alabama and out here in the good old days. Women didn't tell you about that stuff. You don't even ask them about that stuff. And even when you try to get with them, you still didn't ask them that kind of stuff. So ladies, seek the kingdom of God. Keep your sex life to yourself. If a guy asks you that, tell him none of his business. And then if a woman wants to get around the table and you read these stupid magazines about it, still don't tell him. Because this woman is jealous. She feels like a slut. She's lost and lonely. She's been used up. And she wants you to be the same way. All right? So it's private, ladies. Don't be telling anyone. That makes sense? Yeah, don't tell anyone. Don't talk with other ladies or anyone. And then when you overcome being a female, you become a woman. And it will be amazing to live that way. Because God created you for that purpose. God didn't just create you to be some slut. He didn't create you to be lonely. He didn't create you to be lost. He created you so that if you do want children, sex is a way to make children. That's it. It's never meant for pleasure, even though there is pleasure in sex, but it's not supposed to be exploited like that. All right? So, ladies, start working on yourself. And these men give you all the wrong advice. They're setting you up for themselves to use you. So you got to start thinking for yourself. Do the silent prayer. Forgive your mothers and your father. And you got to do exactly what the men have to do in order to overcome being a male to manhood. Seek the kingdom of God and all be well. That makes sense, ladies?